Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. May I sincerely thank you, Your Excellency, for this comprehensive and reassuring presentation on state of the nation, an impressive presentation on the work of the government. Honorable members, as the tradition has it, the floor is now open for two-way engagement and feedback with His Excellency, the President. And as I said earlier, I will now allow the first three members to put their questions, after which the President will respond, and then we take it from there. Honorable, no. Questions and responses. Yeah. I'm asking the Honorable Venani, you have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, Excellency President of the Republic, the guest of the House, the Vice President, and the First Lady, Right Honorable Speaker and Chairperson of the National Council, seated next to me, Excellencies, Ambassadors, and Plenipotentiaries of States, His Worship, the Chief Justice, or is he not here? Members of the Fourth Estate, the media, honorable colleagues, fellow Namibians. Honorable Speaker, before I venture into my interaction with the President, I want to remind you that you quoted rules when the President was speaking, rightly so. That we should avoid the boorish language, the malevolence character, and I agree with that. Those are the rules of the House. But the same rules apply to when I ask questions to the President. That under Rule 26A and H, I'm also given certain privileges.
Absolutely.
And those privileges must remain. I should not be bullied.
No, not at all.
Please, because I've been bullied for 6 years.
Not at all.
Yes, I've been bullied for 6 years. Honorable Speaker, Mr. President, Excellency, from a human point of view, permit me to thank you wholeheartedly for having extended speedy recovery wishes to my persona and on the death of my sister who perished under COVID-19. On behalf of my children, my dear wife Claudina, we wholeheartedly thank you. Turning to the serious matters that we are here for, Honorable Speaker, Excellency President, we are seated with corruption looming under your administration. Serious corruption looming, and we are sugarcoating it all the time. August 26 is a Namibian defense company financed by resources of this state. I have written to the Ombudsman of the Republic, asking him for a legal opinion on the opening of the audit of that company. The Ombudsman came back, wrote to you, wrote to the Minister of Public Enterprises, that indeed the books of August 26 should be opened. A minister in your cabinet recently resigned because of links and allegations that are linked to his personal accounts and to August 26. I want to know from you, is there a commitment from your administration to open the books of August 26 that have been shut since 1998? Two, Mr. President, you also have the prerogative as the State President of our Republic to exempt the Central Intelligence Agency of our country. And we know, I'm not saying you do it, but I know, and I know presidents and prime ministers across the world, that many presidents uses, and South Africa is one example where president uses the kitty of the Central Intelligence to bankroll political campaigns, and there's a big story in the Zondo Commission. I'm very alive that the last report that you received was in 2019. How much have you exempted the Central Intelligence Agency to open its books? Mr. President, knowing my character for many years in this House, I avoid the politics of personas.
I always deal with the issues. And I'm seeing a culture encrypting in our country that the highest office of the land is leading charges of insults, especially to leaders of this country. And I just want to warn that you always play the mantra of saying, play the ball, not the man. Let's continue in that fashion. And I want us to end our political careers without insulting one another. So if State House continue insulting us, we would retaliate. That's one. Two, Honorable President, your Prime Minister, a dear friend of mine, leader of government business, is alleged to have sold farms to government. The Constitution of our Republic reads, under Article 42, subsection 2, that no member of the Cabinet shall use their positions as such or use information entrusted to them confidentially as such members of the Cabinet, directly or indirectly, to enrich themselves. Your own Prime Minister, who is the head of government business and leader in Cabinet, used her influential position to do inside trading by selling her farms to government. It is the same farms which the previous owner, who is known by me for many years, Herr Frederick, may his soul rest in peace, that he preferred his farm to be sold under resettlement. Your government said those farms 11 years and nearly 10 years ago were not fit for resettlement. When the Prime Minister sells them, they are now fit for resettlement. As we speak, our question is your ambivalence as President of the Republic on the conduct of the Prime Minister's raises key questions. Why was her farms bought in such a short period of time by the Ministry of Land? And why did the Ministry of Land not seek private valuators for them to come and evaluate? Because the Prime Minister holds a very key positions in government. She is the head of government. And if she is trading with her own government, the Ministry of Land should have brought in private valuators to give room for the suspicion, to give away to the suspicion that there is a conflict of interest. I want to know from you, Mr. President, were you aware of the sale of the farms? And in the event that these farms were sold without your knowledge, is the Prime Minister going to apologize, as it is your addition to ministers that are doing wrong? Or what are we saying? Honorable President, you are leading an administration for the last 6 years of our Republic that has borrowed the most. It is under your tenure that we have borrowed the most. Yes, we have borrowed the most. If you look at what we have borrowed since you have taken over office. And now we are seeing your administration swapping debts from international debt to domestic debt. And one of the case in point is the Eurobond that was due for payment, and then we went to JIPF and took this money. I want to know from you, will you give me confidence that no other international loans will not be swapped? Because should now government employees get worried about their pensions, because our debt level is very high. The initial ranking was supposed to be 35%. We're already hovering around over 80%, moving towards bankruptcy. So I want to know that, I know there's no risk because the interest is quite low at this point in time. But if the government is going to pay continuously our loans with swapping debts, then it becomes a problem to those that are investing in the GIPF. Honorable President, your administration has on numerous occasions, and you are saying it again, over and over again, that you want jobs, you want to stimulate jobs, and you are a president of great ideas, but your ideas are not materializing. While we want to create jobs, your investment in the agricultural sector is wanting. For us to stimulate this economy and to create the necessary jobs, we must stimulate the agricultural sector. You spend 5.6% of this country's GDP on defense and security, but you spend only 2.4% of this country's GDP on defense. Where is your commitment? Last year, your government, before an election, announced a program that you are going to restock cattle and sheep for those drought-stricken farmers, for them to be able to restock. An announcement that was made by Cabinet. That announcement was reneged because it was a political rule, and now there is no money. Where is your commitment on agriculture? Mr. President, I'm very emotional when I raise this issue because perhaps all my life's career I've spent
probably 30% of my time doing this matter. And that is the matter of genocide. And I find it very insulting every time when we are told that some of you think that money is going to come in cash. I was a protege of Chief Lilwako for many, many years. Grow under his wings. Know what we were thinking about this whole matter from the onset. Honorable Speaker, the Prime Minister, while appraising this very important August House, told us that for 1.5 years now, the Germans are not agreeing on the quantum that we are asking, and now they have put us on tenterhooks to start negotiating projects. I know that ultimately any quantum that comes should move into projects. But the instruction of this National Assembly, which I happened to be present when this motion was moved, you were also here. The mission was to go and seek for reparations, apology, and for us to move forward. Now, if the Germans are pushing us to start discussing for a full year, discussing projects, are they genuine in arriving at a result? I am not anti-Gaviro, for your information. To me, I'm not against any person who negotiates. But when you negotiate, to me, you must negotiate on the instructions of this House. The instructions that we gave to this House, to government, was bring people on board, ask for an apology, and reparations. Today, for 1.5 years, Ambassador Gaviro, with all due respect to his persona, a dear friend of mine for many years, is negotiating projects. Where are we on the negotiations?
Thank you, Honourable Member.
Let me go. Yes, lastly.
You have 6 questions down. Honestly,
Please, Speaker.
have you got
the
one
President
more?
is writing competently, so he's a very competent man. I'm not done. I just have 3 more questions. And then, Honourable Speaker, President, Mr. President. Yes, it's within my prerogative. It's the rules of the House. Mr. President, are you going to commit our troops to a SADC mission, if it is called, on the crisis of Mozambique or not? Mr. President, on the question of housing, you want to build houses, and I agree that we need to build houses, and every member of this House agrees with that. But Mr. President, we have homes, and I've been asking you this question for a number of years now. We have homes in Arua, in Kois, in Korefas, in various polities of our country. Homes that are built and constructed the same way that we have homes in Rundu, Bendu, Keetmanshoop, and all our metropolis. But the houses that are in Arua are not used as collateral. What is your government doing to give property rights to Namibians that own property in their own right, that have worked for their homes, but do not have property rights in their own country? I moved a motion here in 2007 that was adopted by this House. Up to now, we are not seeing government moving, because by opening up property rights to those people, you are going to double the country's economic output in one go. So we are urging you, Mr. President, and advising you, contrary to the belief of State House that the President cannot be advised by members of Parliament. The Constitution gives me that right to advise. The President may take my advice or not, that is his choice. But constitutionally, I'm empowered to do so. So when I get insults that I can't advise the President, while the Constitution gives me that power, I get lost. Honorable President, the Army is producing uniforms to a tune of 50 million, 48 million from Brazil. While we have seamstresses nearly in all the streets of Okalongo, of Kachinakachi, of Vendu, everywhere, we have seamstresses. How do we create jobs if the army goes to Brazil and go order our army uniforms? Please play the part and create the jobs in our country by spending money where it is needed, and we need to spend the money here in our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honorable Kawandenge.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I just want to make a bypassing comment. Before I answer, I ask my questions on behalf of NUTO, and that is the provision of the Constitution of the Republic that you refer to, Article 32, functions and powers of the President. I'm particularly intrigued in one aspect alone that says the President will come to Parliament, will address Parliament, and then he shall be available for questions or respond to questions. Now, this is where my problems comes when we are being rushed, because it's a constitutional right. It's a constitutional obligation of the President to come and talk to us, and this is the only opportunity that we have as members of Parliament to engage with our head.
Okay.
So please indulge.
Thank you. Thank you. Order. It's okay. Please.
Honorable-
Your patient, please.
Honorable Speaker, grant me the latitude. Please grant me that latitude to thank His Excellency for his speech this afternoon in our Parliament. I must say that his speech was bold, conscientious, and it deserved a meritorious comment. Now, Honorable Speaker, let me go with the ratio decidendi of the presidential speech this afternoon, and I can ignore the obiter dicta. That one I will ignore.
Order.
Honorable Speaker, my president, as a student of political science and history, will attest to the fact that Chinua Achebe once said, we all have been in the rain together only until yesterday. And when our masters left, we barricaded ourselves from within, and from that within we ought to pursue everybody that all argument must cease and all people speak with one voice. That lays my foundation to my question, Honorable President. Prof. Lumumba says, yes, I'm coming to the question. That's why I say, when you ask a question, you must lay the foundation for the question. For the person to answer you correctly. You cannot just go to the question without laying the foundation for that question.
Order.
Now, I'm saying this because the stifling of debates that I'm referring to refer to your minister sitting on that side. That is it your policy, Mr. President, that you are directing your minister to disregard anything that comes from the opposition benches in this parliament, even when we are supposed to advise for the betterment of this republic? It is where, because of that attitude, where the chief roads came out with a Marine Act, because your people or your minister could not listen to advice from the opposition. Mr. President, going to the next question. You are often quoted in the media that you say corruption in this country is not systematic, it's not entrenched. That's what the media is quoting you. And I want you to rectify that or to say to the contrary. I want to put you on the spot whether you still believe that corruption in this country is not systematic, it's not entrenched, that it's occasional or endemic for that matter, or whether you still believe that it's a disease that needs to be addressed. Honorable President, or Your Excellency the President, let me commend you for having gone to Chief Hosea Kutako House, the homestead, and made sure that you attended the groundbreaking ceremony we witnessed a week ago. It is a good move, because the African Union has chosen arts, culture, and heritage as a theme for this year. It is quite befitting. However, Mr. President, my question is, there is a place called Ovambudo Vindimba, a very historic site with very rich history and narratives. The very same place where Fontrota issued his infamous extermination order. That site has been declared a national heritage in 2011, but government did not really involve or is not involved in its development. The Genocide Foundation, in a time when my little president, Honorable Muinyangwe, was the chair, managed to secure funds through UNESCO and completed phase 1 of that project. In 2016 or so, under correction, the same foundation did a presentation of the architectural design to the Heritage Council. But I must say, Honorable, Your Excellency, there is no genocide site or memorial site in this country, and the completion of this project will contribute to preserving of our history. I'm saying this because, Mr. President, you talk about the Namibian House, where nobody should be excluded. How is it possible that in this country there is no genocide site or memorial site that represent the Hereros and Nama people of the 1904 war that actually laid the foundation for the total liberation of this country? It is flabbergasting to the core and perplexing to the core. Honestly, it is. So, Honorable Speaker, coming close to a conclusion, let me ask you this question, Your Excellency. What will you define as your legacy? One day when you are not more here and you retire, what will Namibia or should Namibia remember you for? Your legacy. What will they remember their president for while you have a country so, what is the right word to use? A country so unequal in terms of distribution of resources, where you have informal settlements mushrooming on a daily basis, where you have young people unemployed in this country, where you have a population that continue to be confined to poverty. What will be your legacy, Mr. President, once you are not here? What will the scholars write about Hake G. Keiko when you are not here? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honorable Swartboy, it's your turn. Honorable Swartboy, yes.
Is it me?
Yes.
Oh, Speaker, sorry for not paying attention because of the white suit.
Yeah,
White suit.
we have to make sure that,
Yeah, you said at a wedding and so on, and Benani is now also.
thank you. Your
Honorable
turn.
Speaker, thank you very much for the opportunity. Honorable Speaker, I must, given our relationship, afterward also complain to you, but put it on record, that the decision that you took today to chase some media members out of this House is a direct contravention of Article 61, Section 1 of the Constitution of this country. And for that, you are out of order, and we will have to speak about it afterward. You
No.
are completely out of order
No.
in respect of this document,
No.
and you should apologize
No, not-
to the media houses
No,
for
no.
your complete misconduct.
No.
But I respect you as my uncle, as my elder, but I must place it on record, never, ever.
I want you to be aware of the fact what I've done was a standing tradition. The media walked in, and after the guests have had an opportunity to come in, we normally request them to be where they are located, not in the chamber. It's a normal thing.
Honorable Speaker,
No, please continue.
yes, no, I'm
Please
continuing.
continue.
Female genital mutilation was a tradition, but it was illegal. Conventions and traditions that are contravening statutory laws and the supreme group norm of the state cannot be tolerated. I'm placing it on record. Maybe
Sure.
you want to argue, but I want to...
No.
move on.
I just want you also to be aware, we have what we call the new norm. The new norm in terms of COVID-19, we have to ready to create a social distance. And that is one of the reasons in a very small place like this. Okay, please continue. We will have this conversation. Please continue.
Yes. Thank you very much, Speaker. let it be minuted that the Speaker is in contravention of the Constitution of the Republic of Namibia.
We'll talk later.
Yes. Now, normally, when Hage Geingob was Hage Geingob, the Prime Minister, his motto was, whatever letter you write, whatever statement you write must represent the best thinking of the time. As he has become older, I seem not to find that thinking anymore. But the last part of his statement, I found a former revolutionary speaking good rhetoric. And I want to thank him as a foot to the Yoruminga.
Please,
I want to thank him.
please, order.
I want to thank him.
Yes,
I want to thank him for the call that he was making upon all of us as Namibians to be united, to recognize that our best days are ahead of us, to know that the challenges that we have may be difficult, but that they are not insurmountable, and that he has made a pledge from this August House that whatever the outcome of elections, wherever they may be, his government will work together with everyone. I thank him very much for that noble commitment because of the outcome of elections, which some in his party are trying to still settle scores of an election that was completed in 2020 and where SWAPO was not successful in 2 regions. It's time to move on and work for the interest of our people. So, Your Excellency, I thank you very much. Now, I move to the other substantive issues. Your Excellency, the children of Chief Kahumema and Munyuku too are suffering. From a genocide, they fled into Botswana, survived harsh conditions in Botswana, and they have come back, some of them, hoping that they will find a good life at the land of their mothers and fathers. I have traveled in the Oshimbinde constituency, and I have seen the suffering, the pain, and the destitute of our Mandero people. I therefore am asking the President to do the following. Of course, it will take time, some of it, but some of the decisions I'm asking him to take are ones that are within his reach. First, the Hobabos-Talismanes Road needs to be tarred. It can't go on like this. The Epikiro-Ase Block Gum Road needs to be tarred. That's one. People's lives will be improved, as he said, with better infrastructure in that pocket of the Omaheke region. Honorable Speaker, through you to the Excellency, Comrade President, Epikiro must be declared a village council. It has the same number of people that Oshinene has when you look at the census, and it is strong economically. Talismanes is also one such place that should be declared a village council. It is strong. The cattle trade there has huge monetary value that can sustain such a village. Also within that vicinity, Dongerbos, which this government of SWAPO bought to resettle, rehabilitate, and bring some livelihood to the San community. That place needs improvement, but it can already be declared a settlement area so that some better services can go in there. Already there is a good school, good infrastructure, quality teachers, there is some life there. Once it is made a settlement, I think systematically life will improve in that area. At the same time, ASEP itself should also either be a village or a settlement. And the constituency Oshimbinde must be divided so that you have ASEP constituency and separate from Oshimbinde constituency. Your Excellency, Comrade President, also of immediate impact that can be done is the construction of auction pens at ASAP itself, because the community of ASAP have to take first a vehicle and travel to Talismanis to get a veterinary permit, a distance of 250 kilos from ASAP to Talismanis, get the veterinary permit, come back, and now load their cattle again at a cost and go for the auction back to Talismanis, 500 kilometers. But if you construct an auction pens there, and they can have the auctions of cattle, which is numerous, right there at ASAP, you have already done something significant. I urge you, Your Excellency, to look at this matter as a matter of urgency. Also, Your Excellency, the area of Amanus can also, with the progressive decision taken by SWAPO Party government, to tar the road from Kobabas on Rambamba, Amanus, which will connect into Aranus. It is almost completed. If Amanus can also be declared a village, we are going to see Omaheke region getting to a significant point of creating significant growth centers that will spur additional economic growth in that region. So that is number one, the issue. Number two, Your Excellency, I have, and I thank you that you eventually put up an ancestral land commission, which we did not join because of our own philosophical orientation, which we do not regret. But this useless report has some useful comments. I was checking whether you have sense of humor. It says, Your Excellency, on page 240, and I quote, Parliament through a consultative process must enact an ancestral land rights claim and restitution legislation not later than 2 years from the end of this inquiry. Both the process and its ultimate product must remain consistent with the constitutional, international, and human rights legal principles of rule of law, remedy for human rights violation, non-discrimination, fairness, justice for all, whilst providing legality in terms of definitional legal objects, frameworks, mandate, and institutional structures to consider ancestral land claims and restitution, end of quote. I will urge you, Your Excellency, through your relevant minister, to start a draft bill, that it is brought to this House so that we can engage this matter. At a higher level, perhaps there will be a need for a constitutional amendment that recognizes land itself directly as a property that communities must be protected from, because post-colonial African states themselves are also the principal land grabbers in society. I move, Honorable Speaker, to the next issue. You have an annual budget that comes here, Your Excellency, through your ministers, government. And from time to time, they talk about drought here and drought there and a bit of money for drought here and so on. Our view is that there must now be a change in terms of how government does this matter of drought and escalate it to a climate change budget item that will specifically deal with enabling Namibia to be a drought-resilient country. So we bring in the necessary technologies, we bring in the necessary infrastructure so that we are prepared to feed ourselves and not to constantly have to give people food here and there when drought hits. Drought, because it's planned in a sporadic way in terms of budget, does not get to ensure that communities are protected. If you look at Kunene and you look at Umsati, many families' livelihoods have fundamentally been decimated. They have nothing. In Damaranama, I will translate, drought has caused what we call Aisan Arif Tong Amdidisa, which means the fire of households has completely been destroyed. There's no fire at many of the households in Koniana and so on. There's nothing because drought has finished everything. But if you had a climate resilient budget, if you had preparedness, if you had strategies in place and activities in place, you would have done a better job. Your Excellency, you have spoken about Harambee 2. I want to go to page 34. You can because you don't listen and you don't read. It is good that you have a Harambee plan, HPP, which you claim you have consulted. I was not in a town hall where this consultation took place, but fine, whatever. There is a document, HPP 2. We don't have a report as a parliament as to the success of HPP 1. But now we have an HPP 2. Well, where is it? Where is it here? Where was it debated here? You speak here on activity 3, unlock economic potential of agricultural sector by the infusion of private strategic investment into the agricultural sector through a thorough review and of the possibility of applying the PPP approach. Your Excellency, why do these people that draft these programs for government use vocabulary like review the possibility instead of talking about specific activities that will be done on the ground? This plan, if you go on, says on the same page at point A, the PPP unit in the Ministry of Finance shall present a portfolio to PPPs which will support the expedition or provision of various blah, 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 blah. B, to support the adequate packaging of above-mentioned projects in the Ministry of Finance, blah, 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 blah. This plan is a plan about other plans. Yes. By the time your term is over, some of the plans in the plan will not have been planned and cannot be implemented. They are misleading you. If you were a younger man the time you were Prime Minister, they would have seen what you could have done. When you have these types of things written, you wonder. Infusion of private investment in agriculture, land at Nekerdal Dam has not even been purchased, since you spoke of Nekerdal Dam. This plan says that you will still go and identify agricultural opportunities. After 31 years, SWAPO government still wants to go and identify agricultural opportunities while the whole Kunene, Zambesi, Chope, Savango, it is there, dams are there. Why are we still identifying agricultural potential while we know where it really is? I'm going to set figure because I see today you have an agenda to be short, tempered. You don't like us today.
Not at all.
You are fighting us today. But it is one day that we are seeing the head of state. And we must not just ask him questions. We must propose solutions to him also. Because we are one country. We are one country. And once he is successful as a head of state, the country is also successful. And that is our interest at the end of the day. Now, this HPP plan, Your Excellency, honestly speaking, this plan has solar and electricity generation. Perhaps there it says something good. But if you carefully look at it, it talks about plans, it talks about reviewing, it talks about analyzing, it talks about initiating. It does not say that the seed will be planted in the soil so that what needs to grow will grow. That's the problem with this thing. I move to the next point. Your Excellency, you have been a trade minister. Yes. You know trade and investment laws, and you are very competent at it. Why is it that after you became head of state, you appoint a minister who is not at the level of understanding trade and investment issues fully, but you nonetheless slash the budget to a point where that poor lady only sits with 179 million to deal with issues of trade and investment. What can she do with that? What investment can she look for? What PPP arrangement can that minister, Your Excellency, try to get into with other industry players? She has no budget. The money she has is to pay salaries and S&T. You then have a ministry called Employment Creation, filled by a minister that will not be able to solve labor issues, nor will he create employment. But his budget too is about 159 million. But names of ministries mean something. How will Utoni Nyoma create even a job for a cleaner worth 157 or 159 million Namibian dollar budget? And it's been consistent for the past 2 years that that allocation has been given, Your Excellency. That is the challenge. The person next to you, Your Excellency, your right-hand woman, Sarah Bungelo Amavila, in her ministry, which runs the SAN development program, a farm was acquired. The farm owner wrote in his last will and testament that the farm should be given to SAN, who have been generational workers with the children here at this farm. That farm being given or taken up by the ministry, by the Prime Minister's office. She grabs that farm, chases the Hate-on San community into one camp. They came to me also and told me. And she and her husband occupy a huge chunk of that farm. Katrina Hanse Himarwa, Your Excellency, Comrade President, removed 2 persons from a list and was found to be corrupt by a high court. Sarah Nanjila Kungelo Amadila takes a farm directly under her authority, under the SAN development program, pushes a vulnerable community that the state has decided to help out of their misery, pushes them into small camps and takes hold of that farm. Then she goes and sells farms, as the Honorable Venani says. A farm she bought on 28 February 2012, Aghenap, for 1.4 million. 8 years later, she makes 5 million profit from Farm Aghenap. Farm Dubib, she bought on 28 February in 2012. 8 years later, she bought it for 3.7 million. 8 years later, she sells it for 8.7 million, making an additional 5 million Namibian dollar profit. Now, people can buy farms, people can sell farms. Strange that the Honorable Kali Schledwein said to me and announced everywhere that there will be a temporary moratorium on the purchase of farms because he wants to invest in improving farmland that was purchased by government because the infrastructure had dilapidated. He goes and buys that farm, which farm previous years ago was 2 farms, were found not to be suitable for resettlement. But suddenly, because it belongs to Nanjila Kungelwa, the farms are now suitable to be purchased for resettlement purposes. So, Honorable Your Excellency, the President, I think, and this is my last recommendation, you have to bring HPP so that we debate it to add value. Let's add value to it. Here and there, we can tweak it and so on, but if you don't want to bring it, sorry, Speaker, the President is disturbing me.
No.
Speaker, can say that,
Please, Honorable,
I'm
say
finishing.
that. The Honorable Member, please, you move on.
I'm moving on. I'm moving on. Now, the ministries are still too many. The ministries are just still too many. President will have to look at downsizing cabinet because the economy is not growing and competencies have not increased as he wished when he initially took office. Lastly, Alfredo Hengari on 26 March 2020 wrote that President Pohamba must worry about his history and his legacy. I will not ask a sitting president about his legacy, but I'm just saying that as you enter the final term of your office, and of course I will take over after you, you will be the last SWAPO president of this country. I will take over. Now, there will be good parts of your legacy, Your Excellency. There will be. Because from the age of 22, you have sacrificed your life for this country. There will be great parts of it. But by working with all of us, your legacy can be one in which all of us can have something positive to say. On that note, I thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Honorable Mashpi Longo. Order.
Thank you very much.
Your question, please.
No, I want, before I start with my question, this August House to stand up and go in silence for the death of a former plant combatant who passed away in David Pohamba. Zuru Amtenya Nandenga, former plant combatant. Please stand up, yes.
Yeah.
My former plant combatant. Stand up for silence, yes. Yes. Yes.
Honorable member, please continue.
Yes.
Your intervention.
Yes.
Let's maintain order.
People to
Order.
be silent for 1 second.
Honorable member, please. It's your turn to raise. It's your turn to raise your questions now.
No, before I start.
No. We cannot do that. We cannot do that.
So it's for respect.
It's not for that now, please.
For the respect.
Please.
Yes. That was the former plant combatant, my former plant combatant as a commander. Oh, these people with this August House never speak Zulu Nandenga.
There will be an opportunity to do that.
Stand up.
Honorable member, we have rules. We have rules.
Amtenya Nandenga, Zulu.
Honorable member, please, let's stick to the.
No, you can't do that.
Let's stick to the rules.
Papa can sit down. It's okay. Yes. Yes.
Please,
It's not like,
we have rules that we observe.
yeah, they can sit.
Please. Okay. Honorable member, please. Yeah, please. We apply rules for doing this. We cannot.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is the president, you don't know Zulu. Yeah?
Honorable member, please continue.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I do have to beg your indulgence.
Yes.
But what I understood the member to ask is for this August House to stand to observe a moment of silence for a fallen planned combatant
Yes.
who fought with and for SWAPO.
Yes.
What just happened here in this August House,
Yes.
as I have observed,
Yes.
is that SWAPO has rejected
No.
to respect that person. Is that true? Is that so?
No. let me just explain. If you, honorable member, for your information, if you have got something like that, you must alert the speaker on time. You cannot just spring it up like that. Yeah, please continue. Yes, yes, yes. Not at all, not at all. Please, honorable member, please continue.
Thank you very much. Your
Order.
Excellency, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Members, Your Excellency, your stillness has a negative effect to the nation. God has entrusted you, mandated you through the EVM to lead our country. Thieves don't like weak leadership. They will use that opportunity to look out and make you feel involved. Development Bank of Namibia is a government institution that is set to financially jumpstart the business within the Republic and loan those that qualify. In return to pay back the loan according to the period set up. Today we have enemy in business who are Chinese and Indians. Listen.
Order.
Being funded by their government with the ideal to suffocate our local business. Your Excellency, how do you expect the Development Bank of Namibia loan to be paid if our market is fully flooded by the Chinese and Indians? What is that we owe this nation, Chinese, Indian, that we don't know as a nation? Can the DBN waive the repayment for those businesses that are affected since there is no market? Business people are to lose their property to DBN simply because your maladministration did not protect the market industry, particularly in retailing. Your Excellency, we lost Air Namibia, and as per the country history, it is not the only SOE that disappears for the country's legacy. You have some good leaders, hungry, devastated leaders who are great and indeed champions of the downfall of our economy. MTC is another company that is eyed by this greed. Pretenders pretending to the advising you, but instead to confuse you and bring you down. All of those that have elected you, Mr. President. Mr. President, you have the power entrusted in you by the Namibian people. Otherwise, you could not be here this afternoon. Fire those others betraying you, Mr. President. Those Judas Iscariot, who surrounding you. Fire them. I give you those power to fire those people. Those Judas Iscariot. Mr. President, we have people that need your attention rather than giving attention to those thieves. We're having a lot of thieves in your cabinet. I'm having a question. This question I was asked the President last year. Mr. President, I was not having a lot of questions this afternoon. I want to ask you again, when are you going to release the Capricorn people from prison?
Thank you.
That is my last question.
Thank you. We, honorable members, I'm now going to ask His Excellency the President to respond to those specific questions, and then we'll continue with the rest of the honorable members who are waiting to put their questions. Your Excellency, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank those who posed the questions led by the leader of the official opposition. Firstly, let me answer the comment on some kind of insult that came from the State House. A little bit shocked, because the leader wrote me letters, those ones that were personal. I never exposed it to anybody, not to the vertical. I replied, things happen, never leaked to any press. But some of the letters that the leader was writing are public, for public consumption. Because in letter writing, there are form letters, which can be public. It's not to me, it's everybody to know. And also the last one was meant for public. It makes it very difficult even for me to reply, because before I get them already, it's in the newspapers. So there is no way I would like to ignore your letter or to insult you, not me. I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe press release that has been released. But I have never said anything about your letters. I respect you as you respect me, and definitely I would like to say it here that anybody who writes my letter, I acknowledge. Either through me, now yours was a different thing. You want me to open the Pandora's box here? No. Keep it up as you have it. Talk to the Minister in Presidency. That may make progress. So let's not go there. I'm talking about the leader that I have been communicating with. And if there is any insult, I would like to apologize, because I don't know what you're talking about. But respect I have for everybody. So if that is really an insult, I'm going to investigate. And if need, we will apologize. Now coming to your questions, Honorable. Corruption. It is true you are very angry, all of us, about corruption that we feel is now rampant in Namibia. When I'm saying it is not systemic, not systematic, it's a big difference between systemic and systematic. Now, when I keep on saying there is no systemic corruption,
No, please, please.
You can take the floor.
We don't need to have it. Yeah, no, but you have your time. Yeah, no, please.
The Ubud or PBR said, I don't agree. The President said there's no systemic corruption. Maybe endemic corruption is not there. Now, if you take the dictionary and look at the two, they mean the same thing. They mean the same thing. But we'll go and look at it now. Systemic and endemic mean the same thing. If the country is corrupt, there's a systemic corruption. That the system only performs when you pay. System can only move when you bribe. If you are a failed state, that's what I'm saying, maybe it's not. We are talking now about corruption, but it's open up, we are discussing it. So therefore it looks like it is a lot of debate, or there's a more corruption now. No. We have opened the doors. That we are talking, people are being arrested. No. Let's please be honest. It looks like we are more corrupt now because it's open. People are in jail. Ministers. So therefore, we will join you. Corruption is a thing which is going to deny people from benefits that they would accrue. But we have a law here. We have the Constitution. They say most people, everybody is innocent until proven guilty. And many people are questioning me that I am not committed. This ammunition will make me sick. Saying that I am, now I am really improper.
Honorable member, please, no interjection. It's not, no, but we know we're handling it here. We are handling it. Don't worry.
I was interrupted. That apparently to show that I fight against corruption and detest it, I must fire people. That's a time I can show I'm serious about it. I would like to give the example. There is a pole, firing squad. I hang a person up, then machine gun, kaput, down. Americans have now a system where you have a suit like yours, and you sit like that, electric shock. Now my question is, the person who have this primitive way, blood everywhere, say, yeah, we taught you a lesson. And a person who dies in an electric chair. The point, are they both not dead? Or is only one of the fire squad dead, other one not dead? They are both dead. Now whether I fire a person or I force them to resign, because I didn't find them guilty yet. There are institutions. So I'm saying you move from here. The office you are holding is too holy. You have made something wrong, sound-wise. You go out and have to investigate. If you're found guilty, then you can talk about taking him to jail. But I'm saying don't be there to hinder investigation. Clear the office. And that's in itself an embarrassment. For a minister to be asked to resign, they know he has been asked to resign. But it's a way we do it. I have been in administration at the UN and so on. You don't just humiliate a person for the sake of humiliating, including everybody. By whom? That's not true.
Yeah.
That's not true. That's the point. You see, that's the problem. Can you just allow me to just answer that question? Because what happened?
No, please. We cannot afford. No.
What happened with Honorable Swartford is that he made statements condemning the minister. Wait a minute, let me answer. Can I speak? That's
Please.
the problem. Platform he took to go and attack his minister and say, I am not under the minister. I said he must apologize for that. The platform he took and so on. He ignored me. 2 weeks. I still called him to the State House. State House, I called him and and he was standing like a man who was smelling something very bad. Angry. I hit him, I said, why are you so angry? Why are you so angry? You brought it up. So, where did he go? So, hear the truth, please. Then, Kapofi was there, I remember. Then I said, my brother, maybe there is misunderstanding. I am not questioning the merits of your case about land. I'm talking about the platform you use. Then he had Utoni, he just called the names. So I said, if you are so angry, my brother, why don't you resign? Why must one stay in a place you don't like to be? Then he grabbed the things, he even forgot his phone, and he went and slammed the door. He went, can you listen? I'm talking. Can you listen? It's State House, huh? He took the door, he slammed it and walked out. I still send from the Kapofi. Please take this phone quickly, so you cannot say we did something with it.
I really want. I really.
Wait, don't see-
No. I want
Let me
us.
go back to
We went to
reasonableness.
the question of the Honorable Nani, please.
So therefore, Honorable Benani, as you are concerned about corruption and equally concerned about corruption, and we are dealing with it, I brought just this document. When I suspected there are some funny things about the airport first, because you are saying, I'm talking about the same thing. Truth doesn't change, only lies. Today you say this, tomorrow you say that. Truth doesn't change. It's constant. So when I just came into office, I saw this thing of the airport. I was new. I have a letter here to Ngarusev that I wrote here. Maybe you can show it. 26th April, wrote him a letter. And then 1st February, to ask him, I'm hearing this, it's a long letter. Then he replied, saying that yes, some of the people who were doing that are removed, and I am not killed. Then I wrote to other 6 of them, you can see here, where I was hearing, and I brought this, I sent copies to them. Then when I got this, after I wrote the letter, they answered, I'm not a judge. We are processed institutions, as I keep on saying. Then I sent this to the Anti-Corruption Commission, because they are there for that. I listed what I was charging them with, or I was saying what I heard, and say, I have heard that this, you are the agency, and therefore I'm handing it over to you. That's what I did that time. Ngarusev's letter is of course pointing out some people who have been suspect Egyptian guy who was there apparently, he was suspended, he was removed. So anyway, what I'm saying is El Galawi, executive, he was removed, he ran away. So there was action being done with those who were guilty. But again, we have systems and institutions. Therefore, I wrote to the Anti-Corruption Commission, giving them all this. It's for them to go and look and see whether they can follow up. That's about one action. Other actions too, when you call a person in, ministers especially, I'm just doing it in a humanitarian and civilized way. When we meet, it's not a joke. When we meet, I call people there. Others, I had 2 letters. One was to fire, other one to accept the resignation. If people will be nasty and say, I'm not going to fire. So I'm trying to do, because I have to know that the person's guilty. They have to go and send the trial. Therefore, but I want them to move from the ministry, from the cabinet that I'm chairing, so that people can do free investigation. The ones who resign, institutions came and picked them up. We didn't stop. That's what I'm providing. So people are free to come if you want to arrest them, because I'm not arresting people, to arrest them if need be. So really, attempt at trying to work against corruption, we can work together. There are many things people are being accused of on that side too. But you don't just go and grab a person. You cannot just do that. Because you saw somebody has many cars and so on. You cannot do that. So that's about corruption, but we must fight corruption. If you want to work with them, don't work, we can fight it together. Now coming to August 26. Yes, I wrote a letter to the Auditor General, which I'm asking them to do forensic investigation of August 26th. About last week, I did that. Or this week, not this week. That I can send you a copy too. So that they can do forensic, this thing has been going on for too long. So I wrote a letter to ask them, now I'm talking publicly, to ask the Auditor General to try to have a forensic investigation. Yes, I agree with you fully about commitment on agriculture and jobs. Agriculture is emphasized in the Harambee Prosperity Plan as the key thing. We could have done more, even earlier. Because agriculture, we have to import food. Basic food. Tomatoes. The people are doing, and those who are trying don't have market. So we must see to it that these people get market, and we are working on that. We have instructed new people who are there to see to it that at least, and somebody talked about the uniforms. I was really disappointed. I'm going to take it up. Really, it's an easier thing. Uniforms are coming from Brazil. That, I promise to take that up to follow up. Because really it's way to create jobs. There are people, there are companies like this here who can easily be empowered. When I was the Minister of Trade, a project, equipment scheme. You just give them something, they set up something, they can produce the uniforms. So thank you for that one. Whoever said it. Genocide. Genocide issue is a complicated issue. And we may have to decide as a nation that we either continue or not to continue, so you can take over. Because what I'm told is, firstly, Merkel was saying she wants to solve it during her term. There is elections apparently in Germany, and people who are leading seem to be right-wingers who may not go ahead of this. So it's getting complicated, comrades. It is true that, and I must give you the history. Rurako and I were very good friends. Very good friends. And he was accusing me of not supporting him. And when I said, well, why don't you just say Namibians? Because when you are saying Hereros and Namas, you are excluding everybody else. So, and it was not him, but other person got angry. I said, even if you can look at Kasinga, about 90% or 95% were Ovambo speaking were killed. But we say Namibians were killed, but in our heart we know who are it. No, you said no. But lucky enough, somebody told me now, we are saying that because extermination order is saying Namas and Hereros. Ever since then, we stopped using that. I said we are going to use those terms. I have been doing that. We're going to use those terms to face the Germans. That's what we are doing. But, curiously, Hereros and Namas were named in the extermination order. Today, we have added Banderos. We are saying diaspora. They are not mentioned. That's the point. I was saying it was a good point to say it must only be Hereros and Namas because they were mentioned in the extermination order. I accepted that. I would have liked all Namibians to be considered. But then, when I was told the extermination order is talking about two tribes, I said, you are right. And therefore we went ahead. In the papers we say Hereros and Namas. That's what we said. Now, lately, Damaras, not Damaras. The Banderos,
Please.
and then diaspora.
No, we want
Anyway, it's a serious matter, comrade. It's a serious matter.
Please, order.
We're talking about genocide.
Order.
It's not a joke.
Order.
So we are therefore approaching this issue very seriously. And forget the technicalities. We therefore, Rurako and I agreed, after they failed in New York, take it, I said, make it national, take it to the parliament. So parliament can be the one to be involved. Then it will be all of us involved, dealing with it. That's how this thing came to the parliament. We passed the resolution. After we did that, I was now a backbencher. We were invited, Gurira was invited, many soldiers in peace, to Germany. We went by his counterpart. We went to Germany. We went the Bundesrat, whatever I call it, Bundesrat. Merkel, all of them are sitting there. And the Turkish fellow who is a sympathetic one who brought it there, introduced the motion. It was dismissed very badly. We came back. I already rushed for this one, I will rush. When we came back, even that resolution couldn't be implemented, where we could have, as Parliament, lead it. There is no way in the resolution saying government must facilitate. No, that indigenous people talk. No. It's a resolution that could have been killed by SWAPO to avoid two-thirds majority that time. It's our resolution. So that way, there was death. Nothing happened. So Comrade Pohamba, President, wrote a letter to Merkel to start it to say we have outstanding issues. Can we discuss that? He was trying to send Comrade Udoni as an envoy. Germans claim he was a foreign minister. Germans said they don't have that concept of envoys. So he was sitting with that letter until Comrade Nedumbo was appointed a minister. He was invited to go there, and then President Pohamba said, you just take this letter, nothing to be discussed, just give this letter. She went, she was received for her motorbikes and so on and so on. Yeah. And then, some of you could have been brainwashed by that. She went there, the meeting started, he had an agenda. She said, no, I'm not here for agenda. I was just asked to bring this letter. Opo, Tuapo. Then she gave that and returned. She's sitting there. Then the case was dead, and later on Merkel answered diplomatically. We have outstanding, not addressing the issue, we have outstanding issues, we must meet, yes, and so on. Dead again. As President Pohamba was leaving, they sent a message to say, yeah, we must meet to discuss outstanding, envoy that I have appointed. He said, now, who is this person? What is his level? Does he have any standing? We took time before we could maybe agree to that. After that, we said, okay, he has been negotiating, okay, let's try. Then I had two names, Comrade Gurira, and Comrade Professor Dr. Kabiro. So I took him to be the person to negotiate. He has a history person, diplomat, first class. Also, unlike some of you, there's a blue blood, he's from a royal family. So therefore, I chose him. Okay, he's trying his best. We must respect certain citizens. In country, there must be people who are just there as citizens that you can respect. So therefore, I took him and I have highest respect for him. He is reporting through Comrade Vice President. All I can say is we have maybe a deadlock. It's up to you to decide. All I'm saying is, you are happy. Because we are now stuck on the amount. Now, what amount can you do? Yes, they have agreed to apologize. They didn't want to use the word genocide. It took time. We said that was, of course, a post-World War, Second World War terminology. They could have knocked us out in the first round. We then said it to be political and say it tantamounts to genocide. When you pick up people, genocide, you choose a person to eliminate, you are doing that. Therefore, to us, it tantamounts to genocide. So therefore, later on, they said, okay, you can do that, we can do that. Bad things happen. If you think there is something bad, apologize. It took time, they said again, yes, they will come maybe in the parliament and apologize. Highest person. We say, oh, we are making progress. And then, if you have done something wrong, you must do good. That's what we said. And the quantum that was given was based on UN figures. How they calculate one person's death We used that. Of course, amount was very out of this world. But it was the principle we're dealing with. Now, I will say all those things were agreed except that amount. Therefore, we are deadlocked. Because that's the key. Yes, they are talking about, they identified the 7 regions where people where genocide was committed are coming from. And they can therefore build those kind of things and so on. We are now there. I was not having a right to report. Comrade Kabiro is supposed to come. They were supposed to go for the last round, but they caught because of this disease. So he's supposed to report to me, report me. So we are deadlocked. Okay. Now, other things, Honorable Benani, Namibian troops. Firstly, I was not invited because it was a troika, double troika meeting, because I'm not anymore there. So, but the Botswana president is very nice. He briefed me. They are going there to see what Mozambicans would like, and they would like to do something. Apparently, the meeting was good. They have agreed to help Mozambique, maybe with troops and so on, but we are not involved. First to us, it's too far that side. It's really far that side. Angola maybe here. So we are not involved. But if SADC decides, of course, as a member, will be bound by that. Housing, we don't have money. Housing. Yes, what are you doing to give property rights and so on? Yes, we are all talking about, at least we are all together there, that the people who have some kind of squatting property rights, they must be regularized, legalized. And those who are going to be given land as it is now, happening in Windhoek, must be given land and have to develop for themselves. There's a terminology that has been used. I don't know. What do you call it? That the people must have the land. They must be given anyway legal right, flexible land ownership. Yeah. So we are all agreed, Honorable Member, about that. Housing, but if we look at what we have done in the north, here in Walvis Bay and Swakopmund, definitely I have understood certain houses over. Some, of course, were wrongly done. That's a history. But we agree with you. Housing is a basic need for the people. But on the other hand, we must also look at the freedom of movement. People can just move because they are free, just come, dig, put up something and settle. Now, before people are allowed to move around, they're controlled by pass laws. But people just come, settle, and we cannot kick them out. That's it. Army buying weapons, again, as I said about uniforms, Army has been trained here, but certain things we cannot buy here, we have to buy them from outside. That briefly I can say about the Honorable Leader of the Official Opposition. Honorable Nuto, Kawan Denge, that's a name. I don't know when you gave me advice and I didn't listen to you. I don't know when you gave me advice I didn't listen to. So that's not here or there. Oh, I will talk to them. Tell them to listen. Advice is a good thing. I listen to anybody. I may not accept it. But to listen, you must listen. Yeah. So therefore, ministers, you are hearing here, apparently you are not listening. Apparently, I will say that. Because they are sitting here. So according to the Honorable there, since you are here in the Parliament, why don't you grab them? They don't. Okay. Again, I answered the second part about corruption. And I said systemic Firstly, let's be patriotic also. If the world is saying we are number 7 in governance, and they are saying that we are number 2 on the Cape Verde, when it comes to, do you pay something to get service? Because corruption is that. Others are perceptions. But we must also address perceptions. I'm not saying we shouldn't ignore that. But corruption, if it is systemic and so on, nothing can be done unless you pay it. Is that what is happening? Yes. Now, please. Yes. Now, please, let's be honest. Okay, they did the job. They did the research. And they said Namibia, it's only 7%. They study, what is it? Barometer, Afro barometer. Well, I'm giving you the source. Well. Okay. Anyway, let's be serious. This is a parliament, I think. But so all I'm saying, our country is more important. We cannot make our country to look like we are so corrupt. Systemic corruption. No. But there are corrupt people. Yes. Yeah, there are corrupt people everywhere. I was talking to some high-level diplomat from a big country after this. We were talking and I said, well, we have this issue. They said, Mr. President, corruption is everywhere. Even in my country, I'm going to mention the name, country. But it is what you do with it. That's what he said. It's what you do with it. You close your eyes and just say, yeah, people are in jail. So we talk as if our country is so corrupt. Ourselves. How can the investors come? How can they come?
Let's continue.
I'm coming to that.
Order. We continue systematically, question to question, please.
So I already covered one of them, aspects when I was answering him. So yes, we must all fight corruption. But when I was a young man, I said, when you overuse the word, it means it loses the meaning. If you overuse the word, it will lose the meaning. If you use the word carefully, when you say so-and-so is corrupt, we jump. But when you are saying, that's how they always talk. So even a corrupt person is hiding and say, that's how they talk. So let's have the facts exposed. If you see somebody is corrupt, bring it up. We have systems, institutions.
Thank you.
You were not here. Why did you leave? I answered that question. I did. You were not here. I answered the question.
Please. I want to discourage dialogue.
Then, declared a national heritage site. Yeah, to be declared national heritage state. That's your problem, not the president. To follow what you call, say, bring it to the parliament. You are a parliament, I'm not a parliamentarian. You are a parliamentarian. But really, to say, because we are honoring person of Hosea Kutako's caliber. I went there. When I saw that house, which was being glorified as Hosea Kutako's house, I got so angry. I said, if need be, we can even collect money to build something like this while we can wait for something else. That's why I had that. At the land conference, I said, that house, that must be a shrine. And therefore we're doing that. I was there. And before I go, there will be a shrine. Now when I do that, caliber of Hosea Kutako was not a man who was only a herero.
Order.
And contrary, or unlike you, who are sitting here, you will be envious of me. At least I met him. So respect the old people, are you?
No. Honorable members.
I was honored And unlike, I mean, we didn't have these things of yours now. Selfish, huh? But before we went, we listened to Addis. I met him, and we were advised by him. We didn't know where we were going. So Stanley was called, and then helped us to take us to the border, even told us how we must concede. This is Botswana border, 4 kilometers here is Namibia. Police are there for us. That's how we were helped. He gave us Stanley. So I have that feeling. First, it's a person who is respected by all of us. And that's a person who commands respect from all of us. So I'm doing that. Allow me to do that first in my term. When you become president, you can do it. You said you are going to come. Yeah, then you do the rest. You do the rest. Let me do mine now.
Okay. Okay. Let's continue.
Now to ask me, why did Namibia remember you for? That's not how we work. It will be some scholars, some people who say who I was. How do I? Good one. Danger point. No. So it's a scholars, it will be people who judge, it will be you who will judge me, not me.
Yeah.
If I finish and go, I go. Why do I care what? But that's people, scholars who will do that, not me, to say, recognize me for this. How do you do that? Thank you. Then Honorable Swartwell. There are long things, but I can just answer with one question, one answer. Because it's long. Number two is just one question. All what we are saying, yes, let's look. You are talking about genocide, descendants from Obama Banderu, Botswana are suffering. Request the president and Hwabes Road, Epigiro Post 3, Isaac Towns. They are all things that are talking about, recognize them. And therefore, why not? Why not? Again, you don't have money, but definitely you identify and go systematically. We are now dealing with one important one. Very important. Nobody will challenge me when I'm talking about Zakotako. Nobody in this country. But some will be questioning. Yes, some will be questioning. So let me do what is good for all of us. All of us accept that, isn't it? That we must honor Chief Zakotako. Okay? Yeah, so let me do that first. Let me finish that. When we now inaugurate that during my time, then we can talk about other things also. But you can do it, you are going to be president. Yeah. So we leave it for you. Yeah, ancestral land report that you boycotted, you are saying, it's just like that the Guru there. Other day he said, he doesn't accept this budget. Now, when you don't accept the budget, are you going to get your salary from Parliament and your party to be given money? If you don't accept this budget, are you going to get money? Huh? That's not true. That's not true. People, please. I was about a founding member. I was one of the founding. I was even sponsoring 2 people. You know, you are saying yes.
Let's not have a dialogue. Please, Honorable President, please continue.
Firstly, about that one, I have never supported universal particle. From that day on, I said no universal grant. It must be based on means. Billionaire, and a person in the street must get the same thing, and tax is going to solve it. I was always disagreeing with universal, but I was a member of the group. I was sponsoring 2 people.
Okay, no.
I am still saying the same thing. I am saying I don't support universal.
Yeah. Please,
I'm saying I don't support universal.
Let's continue with the responses. Please, for so far, we've got too many people who are waiting, please. Honorable
Well, others,
President.
I think that will be followed up.
Order. No,
I'm
please.
just saying all from A to G are the same thing. That it must just be looked into, and if there is money and so on, time, when you become president, maybe so. Now he said he's a current president, so he can do it.
Order, please.
Ancestral Land Commission, they said he didn't support it, but there is something, therefore he can apparently talk about it. You oppose something, but you can draw something out of it, good ones, and then support it. It's confusion.
Order. No, please.
Okay, we know Kunene, all these poor places, I have been there. Kunene is a place maybe I went 6 times to. 6 times to Kunene. Now, Opo is Kunene. I was taking all these 2 places, forests, Kunene and no.
Is that the place in Amaheke?
Yeah, it is. Yagam, no, but the main one. That's what it is. Chumkwe. I chose those places as a prime minister. I went 5 times to both of them. So I've been there. And even now I was there as the president. So I see the conditions, but there's also a difference. There's a war going on, which I'm mediating between the Hereros and the San people. We are dealing with that because they say they have been displaced and so on. So I'm dealing with that. They have been in my office. Were you there? Okay, that's good. That's good.
Okay. Order.
This document was put up with, I think, first based on the lessons learned from the other one, and then consultations were made. We even say it must be translated in our languages. It will take time, but we'll do that. You see, it's not a question. Planning is a very different thing. You are saying, it just say we'll do that, we are going to study and so on. Some of the things must be done that way. But I don't agree with you. There are concrete proposals. What to be done in this report and in this Harambee Prosperity Plan too. Some are saying, why do you call him Harambee? If I said Damara name, some couldn't even pronounce it. So you could have accused others. I'm talking about where it comes from.
Please.
I'm talking about Harambee. Both are Harambee. Both are Harambees. And people are making jokes about it. You go and just choose your language, not caring about other people that understand or not. And therefore, I chose neutral word. That nobody can say I'm favoring this. That's why Harambee came.
Okay.
Truth doesn't change. So I saw the Harambee, you are disagreeing, I'm happy with it. Trade and investment budget slash. Firstly, there is you must read your documents. Trade departments were taken away from there. And a board was set up. Investment Promotion Board. That money just went there. So clear, straightforward.
Okay.
And then,
Okay.
I'm now telling you, the money that you are missing in the Ministry of Trade went to the Investment Promotion Board. I'm telling you.
Okay. Let's move on.
Yeah, okay. I'll stop.
We have a number of colleagues who are waiting. Honorable Oka, please. Honorable Oka.
It's a farm. Oh, no. Okay, let me also. Firstly, comrades, those of us were in exile. Some of us, when born, white man's farm. I hated, truth doesn't change. Only your truth are
Please,
changing.
let's listen.
Truth doesn't change. I'm answering, I'm explaining.
Please,
I want to
order,
listen.
let's listen.
But can I just ask you a question very seriously? I have a right to ask you. Why are two of you always that way? I watch the TV. I watch the parliament. Why are you always like that? What are you displaying? What are you displaying? What are you displaying?
No, please, please, can I come in here?
That's
Honorable,
Both of you talking at the same time.
can I,
Talking
please,
at the same time.
let me come
Seriously
in,
speaking,
let me come in.
Insulting people.
Order. I really want
wonderful
to,
names, it's interesting.
I really want to come in. Honorable members, order.
Now, let me finish. I was saying that some of us were born at White Man's Farm. And I wanted to buy that. They refused. If I told some people that time, they could have nationalized it. Now, we have willing buyer, willing seller, which we are refusing, some of us. Now, if they say if you have a farm, you must first offer must go to the government. If government refuses, that's the time you go to somebody else. Now, if they, I don't know the issues, if they had a farm and they have to sell it, they must first give first preference to the government. If government needs it, therefore government, willing buyer, willing seller principle, took the amount. Now, if I sell something and buyer is willing to buy at that price, what is your problem? Huh? Huh? Yeah. No, I would like to know. Yeah.
Please, order. Just wait for the mic. Wait for the mic.
This is my day.
Order.
She's your wife in the why don't you ask her? She's always here. Why don't you ask her?
Order.
I'm
Wait for
here
the mic. Can Honorable Swartboy, please, could you switch off your light? Your light. Yes.
Honorable President, your narration is quite correct. That when you are selling a farm, first option goes to government. Preference right, that's all right. When government realizes that the seller of the farm is the head of government, government must go out of its way. That's why I ask you, why didn't I'm not blaming the Prime Minister. The Ministry of Lands should have gone to private valuators, because now the Prime Minister is trading with their own government. That's the problem. And that's the problem.
Thank you very much. Order. Let's deal with this. Hold on.
By the way, parliamentarians, the point is on order paper in the parliament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The question will be
So from the
tabled.
minister,
Okay. I'm moving on to Honorable Oka.
because the minister is going to answer.
Honorable Oka,
No, I'm not a parliamentarian.
please. It's your turn. It's your turn. Yeah, no. We
You
are
got the
moving.
point.
We are moving on. We are moving on. Please, Honorable Oka, please.
I think I've tried my best.
Thank you. Honorable Oka, please. Yeah. Order. Be patient. No, please. What was the question of the?
I wish some of you would say something outside. I will take you to court, you especially.
Yeah.
Just try
Hello.
some of things outside.
Order. I will revert back. I'll revert back to the question. Please. Please, Honorable Husband. Yeah. No, please. Yeah. Let's have the honorable member on the floor, please. Please, The honorable member is on the floor. Yeah. No, I will
What's wrong
include
with
it. It will be, the question will be covered. I
take him to
will
court.
include the question.
Yes.
Please, order. Please no dialogue. Honorable member,
Going too far.
please no
I
dialogue.
think you are going too far, my brother.
Yeah. No dialogue. Can you?
Ah,
Okay, please, let's listen to each other. Your question will be
very
responded
unfair.
to.
Let's be
Your question will be
patriotic.
responded to. Order, please, order. Honorable member, please. Can you help the honorable member here, please? Where is he going? Where are you going? Hello? Can you help? You cannot have both. Order. Okay. Can you switch off the other one? Order, let's listen to each other, please.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Your Excellency, honorable members, invited guests, very good afternoon to you all. Your Excellency, allow me to compliment the government for effective and timely control of most feared pandemic, COVID-19, for the well-being of the citizens of this great nation.
I can't hear.
Order. Can you?
However,
Can you come very close to your mic so you...
However, Your Excellency, with the new developments in the COVID history of 146 deaths in the space of 6
Honorable
weeks
member, please.
is worrisome and scary. To my view, most of our citizens have still not realized that COVID is real, as you have also said in your address. What new protocol measures can be implemented to bring about behavioral changes that will save the lives of the citizens? Secondly, Your Excellency, I want to settle your attention on the vastness of Kunene region and the possibility of dividing
Honorable
it
member,
into two.
please, can you just hold a bit? We want the president to hear what the honorable member is saying. Please continue.
Secondly, Your Excellency, I want to settle your attention on the vastness of Kunene region and the possibility of dividing it into two to effectively and timely address the needs of the people. Honorable Speaker, allow me to say this. Usa jaiske chukwasa husa. Tai kami ngai ke au kamera down. Huige lam kao sika dere lam kao sis ose. I thank you,
Thank you.
Your Excellency.
There's no English word.
Honorable,
There is no English words for that.
Honorable Kavekotora. Order. Let's listen to each other. Honorable members, please, let's listen to each other. Order.
Thank you.
Order.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Let me thank the Honorable Mr. President for
Just a moment, Honorable Shiwameni. Can I have your attention? Oh, can I have your attention, please? Can I have your attention? Honorable Sepep, order. Can I have your attention, please? I really want both of you, honorable members, to calm down so that we can continue and listen to each other. First, yes, please. Now, no, please calm down. I don't want interjection, interruption. That is not permissible.
Speaker,
yes.
If you don't want us to attend State of the Nation, please make your ruling.
No.
So that the nation knows you don't want us here.
I did not say that.
Make your ruling.
No. I'm saying. Okay. Can you listen to me? Can you listen? Okay. Listen to me. I'm asking you. We want. No, please, hold on. I'm simply saying, we are very close to the hour, and we have to extend the time in order for us to conclude with the rest of the members who would like to have this. But remember, please, we cannot continue like that. Okay. Lydia. I wanted to make sure that we are not distracted.
You did well, don't worry.
But they are forcing it.
Don't worry,
So
Speaker.
this is rule number 11. Order, 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 order. No, he should also go. Order, order, order. No, absolutely. Yeah. No, no. I want you to calm down. Calm down. I want you to sit down. Order. 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 I want you to sit down. Sit down, please. Members, please sit down. Order.
Take 1194, then you suspend.
No, no.
No, that is now, if you cannot control
Yeah,
them.
yeah. I want order, order, order. I want to say something. Honorable member, please sit down. Order, order, please sit down. Honorable member, please sit down. I want to say something. Order, order. Order, order. Honorable members, honorable members. Order, 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 order. Honorable members, I cannot tell you how much I'm disappointed by the behavior of the two honorable members of this House. This has been coming for a while, and I really thought we would be able to go through without this kind of hassles. And I have no choice but to have them removed, because what is happening basically, it is no longer permissible. And according to rule number 11, they have to be taken out, because you can either remove yourself by walking away, but if you are basically imposing yourself, we have no choice but to have you removed. So that is where we are. Yes. No, no, so in the light of this kind of behavior, we cannot continue. We cannot continue like this. And there are members, I know there are members who would like to ask them, but under these kind of conditions, we cannot. So under rule number 19, I'm suspending the sitting, and we are concluding. Yes. That's it. Thank you very much. The Sergeant at Arms.